Everett Lane didn't bring guests on his show to talk. He brought them on to win. That's what his producers told themselves, what his audience expected, and what Everett believed every time the cameras turned on. His Monday night show had become gospel for millions of progressive viewers, half political commentary, half late-night roast. But when he invited Karoline Levitt, something felt different. She wasn't just another guest, she was a challenge, and she didn't come to play defense. When her team got the invite, they hesitated. Everett had a reputation, cutting people off, throwing zingers mid-answer, especially with conservatives. But Karoline just smiled. "Let's do it," she said. "But I'm not going in to be polite while he monologues. If he wants fireworks, I'll give him a fire line." Her comms director Lyle looked up. "He'll bait you. Just don't bite." She didn't respond. She was already outlining how to dismantle someone without raising her voice. By the time they landed in Philly, Karoline had watched 3 hours of Everett's past segments, marked his pivot points, and studied the rhythm of his interruptions. Not to mimic it, to break it. The show's producer, Gwen, sent over a last-minute schedule. Segment 1, free speech on campus. Karoline smiled. "That's the topic he thinks I'll crumble on? Cute." Before the show, she walked alone through Rittenhouse Square. She liked the anonymity of big cities, the reminder that most people didn't care about DC drama. A man in scrubs buying coffee, a kid skateboarding past protest stickers on a lamppost, a barista humming Beyoncé. Nobody cared who she was. That calmed her. Back at the hotel, a final text from Gwen. "Studio car at 3:15. You'll be live at 5. Everett may or may not say hi beforehand." That told her everything. If he wasn't planning to say hi, he wasn't expecting a conversation. He was planning a performance. She didn't mind. At 4:57 p.m., she sat across from him. Lights hot, camera set. The countdown started. Everett leaned in with a grin. "Tonight," he said, "I'm joined by Karoline Levitt, former White House staffer and loudest voice in the so-called free speech movement." Karoline smiled, calm. She hadn't even spoken yet, and already the energy in the room was shifting. Everett didn't ease into it. He never did. "So, Karoline," he said, "you've claimed that college campuses are hostile to independent thought. Are you suggesting students shouldn't protest speakers they disagree with?" Karoline didn't blink. "I'm saying shouting someone down isn't protest, it's performance. And when universities allow that, they're not protecting students. They're protecting noise." Everett chuckled, already queuing up his next line. "So, outrage is off limits now? That's rich, coming from the side that panics over pronouns." That was the bait, and Karoline didn't take it. "Outrage is fine," she said evenly. "Silencing isn't. There's a difference between protest and prevention. If your ideas are strong, you don't need to block the door." For a second, Everett's smirk faltered. He tried again, arms wide to the camera. "You act like this is about free speech, but it's not. You want to center the voices you agree with and call it censorship when others push back." Karoline leaned in, her tone like steel wrapped in velvet. "And you only defend speech when it fits your worldview. You don't protect debate, you curate it." He sat up, stung. "I'm not the one passing laws about what teachers can say." "Neither am I," she said, without missing a beat. "But we should talk about school admins canceling events because someone's feelings might get bruised. That's not education, that's theater." Now he was fidgeting. Not obviously, but enough. A twitch of the hand, a glance to the control room. He tried to retake the lead. "You've built a career crying victim. Oh no, the mean university didn't let my speaker talk. Meanwhile, your policies restrict academic freedom." Karoline stayed still, calm. "I've spoken at schools where security had to escort students out in tears because their classmates were threatening them for simply attending. If that's the freedom you're defending, you may want to recalibrate your compass." Silence. The crew stopped moving. Even the hum of the air system felt louder than the moment. Everett adjusted his mic. Karoline hadn't raised her voice once, and somehow she had turned the entire set into a courtroom. "You think the left is shutting down free speech?" he asked, voice tighter now. "I think it's not a glitch," she said. It's a strategy. He opened his mouth, but she beat him again. And the irony? Every generation has people pretending they're the resistance, while they're the ones running the institutions. You've just rebranded it. Everett sat back, stunned. For the first time, he didn't have a retort. He didn't even have a smirk. Karoline leaned in one last time before the break. "Do you ever let your guests finish a thought?" she asked, "before telling them what they meant?" The red light went off, but the moment didn't. The second the segment cut to commercial, the studio froze. No chatter, no water breaks, just stillness. Everett stared straight ahead, jaw locked, tapping his note cards like they might rescue him. Karoline sat motionless, not gloating, not tense, just watching. From the control booth, Gwen's voice came in low. "Back live in 90, stay sharp." Everett turned to Karoline. His tone dropped. "You done hijacking my show?" She didn't blink. "Are you done trying to monologue your way through a conversation?" He said nothing. 60 seconds. One of the techs leaned in to adjust Karoline's mic. She didn't move. She could feel the shift now. Everett wasn't rattled because she shouted. He was rattled because she didn't. 30 seconds. Everett looked at her again. "I'm not the enemy here. You know that, right?" Karoline's reply was soft. "You say that like it makes you less responsible." 10 seconds. The red light came back on. "Welcome back," Everett said, his voice a notch flatter. "I'm here with Karoline Levitt, who believes free speech is under attack. So, let's push this. Social media bans. You think private companies owe you a platform?" Karoline leaned forward, voice firm but not aggressive. "I think when companies controlling public conversation can shut down news stories before elections and face zero consequences, we have a problem." Everett tried to laugh. "You mean misinformation?" Karoline nodded. "The kind that gets you suspended for posting something out of context, even if it's your own words." "That's different," Everett said. "That was me. And they didn't know that," she cut in. "That's the point. They acted on instinct, no rules, just reactions." Everett reached for his cards. "Okay, so what? We let everyone say anything?" "No," she said. "We hold people accountable, not through bans, through truth. Call it out, debate it, win on the merit, but don't padlock the arena because you're afraid to lose." Everett's knee bounced under the desk. He glanced at the control room. "Do we have the clip ready?" Gwen's voice crackled. "You didn't ask for one." That was it. The first crack. He looked back at Karoline. "So what's your answer then? No guardrails, just chaos?" She smiled. "No, Everett. The real threat isn't chaos. It's when the people holding the microphones pretend they don't have them." That landed. Hard. He adjusted his mic, then slowly, deliberately stood up. "We're done here," he muttered. Gwen's voice hit his earpiece. "Everett, stay seated. We're still live." He ignored her, dropped the mic, walked off. The camera cut instinctively to Karoline. Wide shot, empty chair beside her. She turned to the lens, calm as ever. "If walking out is easier than listening," she said, "maybe we're not the fragile ones after all." Boom. The crew didn't move. Lyle, watching from backstage, just whispered, "Holy hell." Gwen didn't cut the feed. "Let her speak." Karoline sat tall. "This was never about left or right," she said. "It's about whether we can disagree without someone storming off. You don't have to like what I say, but you don't get to silence it either." She stood, unhooked her mic, and walked off the set. No one stopped her. She didn't need to drop the mic. Everett had already done that for her.